Do you actually put more into Social Security than you get back? Let's dive into this. It's going to be an interesting one here. Been messing around with a couple of spreadsheets this morning as I contemplate this. My man Devin did about a week ago a video on Social Security, and a lot of people were they in terms of how much you put in, how much you get back, and whatnot. And a lot of people were saying you're not inflating it, blah blah blah, and there's some valid arguments there. And so I said, and then on top of that, I did a video on Social Security, and a couple guys pointed out, rightly so, hey, you're only looking at the top 35 years that go into your AIME, your average index monthly earnings, but we paid Social Security taxes for more than that. I said that's actually a pretty good point too. So in this video, we're going to dive into this. We're going to run some numbers, and it'll be interesting because I'm in the back of my mind. I have no idea. I have no idea what it's going to look like. It's going to be interesting. Now, I've done some preliminary, but I haven't got the net results yet, and that's what we're going to share with you as we dive through this. So let's see what we got, shall we? Sorry. So basically, this is just right off the Social Security's website. What is that website here? I had it on my other computer. I already closed it out. But anyway, this is average index monthly earnings. The average wage index, AWI, average wage index going back to 1978 until this year. All right, so 48,000 is average, and here's the max. All right, so the reason we're using 48,000 because that's the average wage index for the average employee, if that makes sense. So we got two different scenarios. If you made the maximum amount of taxable Social Security, this is you. If it made the average, this is you. I hope that makes sense. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm taking these numbers, and I'm going down here, and I'm plotting them out. So here I flipped them. So here, this is the max. All right, so let me probably bold that. That's the max, and that way everyone doesn't get confused. All right, so I'm just literally taking the maximum amount of Social Security, the average wage index, the maximum. All right, so in 1978, the maximum taxable amount of Social Security is 17.7. In 1985, it's 39.6. Hope that makes sense. 39,600. And then I'm going down here. I'm just literally cut and pasting them. Now, Frank, I don't know what the employer and the employee rates were at that point. I'm just saying 6.2. If it's different, sue me. But I'm just going on a 6.2% taxable amount. 6.2%. All right, so basically, if this was you, the maximum that you put into Social Security in 1978, 40 years ago, and I'm actually doing it for 40 years, by the way, all right, which is from 1978 until 2017. That's 40 years. So in 1978, if you made the max, you put in $1,097. Now that is back then in 1978. So just stay with me for just a second. Your employer put it also $1,097 in. That makes sense? Now, if we're inflating it at 7% a year, which is what I've done here, so you can see I'm taking this cell, which is $1,097, your employer contributions or yours. It doesn't matter in this case. It will in just a second. But we're just inflating. We're just taking that contribution, that taxable amount that you put in 1978. We're saying you got 7% a year on that money, and we did it for 40 years, which this right here. All right, so we're 7% squared to the 40th power, whatever, and then 7% a year. And that's the amount we started with. That would be worth $16,433 today. The second year, your taxable, your wage index, the maximum wage index was $22,900 in that year, which is $1,420 is what you paid in taxes that year. Again, assuming 6.2. All right, 6.2 to you, 6.2 to your employer. We're inflating that again at 7%, but this time only for 39 years. Does that make sense? So we're getting closer. So we scratch down to. Gotta learn this Mac. So we scratched in year 15. Your maximum wage index was 55,500, which you pay 3,441 in taxes. We inflate that for 26 years at 7%. You would have that would have been the equivalent of $19,983. Hope that makes sense. All right. So now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go down here, and that's a total amount of inflated adjustment that you put into Social Security, $662,000. Your employer also put $662,000. So basically, between these two equals that times 2. So we put in 1.324 million into Social Security as the maximum taxable wage. I hope that makes sense. So we put in 1.324 million. All right, so now let's go over here, and that's the max. So what if we just did the average, and this is the average? I keep going the wrong way. I know it's confusing. Oops. That way. Eesh. The Chromebook is different. All right, so this is the average. Now, what if we just did the average? So the average, again, if we go up, you can see here, oops, that's the max. The average is 9,870 in 1978. 1985 was 16,076. 2000 is 32,151. This is the average wage index. In 2015 is 50,220. All right, so now we're just doing the average, and we're saying in 1978, 9,870 is what was what the average wage index was. We paid $612 in taxes. We're inflating that at 7%, and we're doing it for 40 years. All right, so 40 years of compounding. The next year, we had $10,767 was the average wage index, which means we paid $668 of tax at 6.2%. We're inflating that at 39 years. It says L48. No, it's not 48 years. It's L48. That's the cell we're inflating it at, or compounding is probably the better word. And that means that $668 today, 39 years later, is the equivalent of $9,342. All right. All right. So let's go down here. And our average here, oops, I keep doing that, man, is $275,000. That's how much we paid in taxes over the course of 40 working years. So we're going to do this times 2. And so between me and the employer, we've contributed $550,000. All right, so now the question, two things come to mind is, if we were to have that much money in our pocket, how much could we generate a month of a monthly income? All right, so that's because that's what Social Security is. They're saying, how much is your monthly income stream that you're going to get? So we're going to, and I don't know, we're going to calculate this. And then on top of that, we're going to say, I was going to say something else on this. I forgot. Oh, we got to figure out how much Social Security pays. All right, so we know what we're going to do here is we're going to say this is the average. All right, so we're going to do equals. I don't want to equal there. Never mind. Scratch that. Let's go back. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. I keep going the wrong way. All right, so I want here. I want to do equal average. It's not giving me the, man, hold on a sec. That's 48,000. I'm not sure why this one isn't allowing me to do average. Let's see. Hold on a second. I did my other one. So equals, yeah, there we go. Average. Okay. Cool. All right. So 48,347 is our averaged wage that we had. All right. So 48,347 is our average wages, or index wages on average for the year. Does that make sense? So the average index yearly earnings, AIYE, average index yearly earnings is 48,347. Now what we're going to do is we're going to divide that by 12 to get our AIME. Divide that by 12. And our AIME is $4,029. So let's scroll down here. Why am I doing this? We're going to get a gauge of how much we get from Social Security. So 4029. That's our average yearly, average index yearly earnings. Now it's our average, our AIME is 4029. We know the first 926 is times that by 0.9, and then we know any amount equals this minus that, times that by 0.32. And so our Social Security benefit equals this times this. Our Social Security benefit, is going to be, scratch that, hold on just a second. Having a hard time with this. All right, boink plus, where's the plus sign here? All right, so our AIME is 4,290. and then our PIA is 1826. All right, so we're not going to do any reductions. We're just going to say, we'll assume we're 66 years old, our full retirement age, for simplicity. So our AIME is 4,029. We've been working for 40 years, all right? So from 22 to 62, or maybe it's from, I don't know, 26 to 66, but it's 40 years of work. I guess you could say you actually have 30 or 45 years. I'm 20. So, I mean, for me, from 18 until I was 66, I mean, that's a lot of work there. So 66 minus 18 is 48 years. We're just going to do 40 here for simplicity, just to give us something to start with, because I'm just going back to what Social Security provided us. It didn't go back beyond 19, or did it? I can't remember. Man, 1970 is what we're using, because we're using that table they gave us. All right, so we're going to say 40 years of work, of which we pay taxes for all 40 years. You only get benefit on the taxes in the top 35. It's just FYI. So we'll just say we took 5 years off. I don't know, whatever. And that's our PIA at 1826. So we're going to say we work from 26 to 66. We got 40 years of work, and our primary insurance amount is 1820 on that AIME, which is based on the average amount right here, the $48,000 average. Now the max, there's a method in my madness, my friends, so hang in there with me. The max here is, we want to do, well, let's just do this, blank, right there, is 71,000. And we're going to go down here, oops. That equals that divided by 12. There we go. That's what I want. We want the same thing here. It's 5947. It doesn't seem like that's the max, though. Oh, I gotta go from this side. Never mind. Scratch that. We gotta go this side. Oops. Gotta go here. Right there. Equals average. There we go. I was gonna say that didn't seem right. All right, there we go. All right, so now we got equals that divided by 12. All right, so the max AIME is 8937. All right, so the max AIME is 8937. All right, way too far down. AIME. What did I say? 8937, 8937. So we know the first 926 times 0.9. 5583, I think is what it is. So 5583 minus 9, oops, we got to do equals 926 equals 5583 minus 926, times that by 0.32, and then we have equals that minus 5583, times that by 0.15. All right. So now we got equals this times that, all right? And then we're gonna go down. All right, so now we're gonna equal some of those two guys, some of those three guys. All right. So now our max PIA in this case is $2,826. All right. So what could we get if we were to have? So basically, what we're doing here, we know if we have our maximum earnings base for Social Security, we get $2,826 at our PIA, our full retirement age. We're just saying 66. We know if we had the average wage index over the course of the history, again, that's literally from day one to day 4, a year of end of day 40, we'd have our PIA of 1826 a month. So what would it be if we were to take this amount here, the 1324 for the max, or the 550 for the non-max, for the average, and get it an income annuity to pay the same amount of money? All right, so let's pause and take a break, because I want to see that. I'm going to go on this fidelity calculator, which is flipping awesome. Someone just told me about it. I'm going to show you what this will look like. So hold on just a second. Hang with me. We'll be right back. All right, so here's a Fidelity Guaranteed Income Estimator tool, and this is fantastic. I freaking love this. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a guaranteed income from immediate annuity for my life, and we'll just say Charlotte's life, for my life and someone else's. We're going to say I was born in, if it's 66 years old, which means it's 2019. That means I was born in what, 2019 minus 66. I was born in 1953. So we'll just say I was born January 1st, 1953. And I'm a male. We'll say I live in the great state of Georgia. All right. And we're going to say my wife was born January 1st because she is, we'll say 1957. She's 4 years younger than me, and she's a female. We want to start the income, and we'll just say May 1st, 2019. We're going to say it's a qualified, all right? And we want how much I plan on investing. So let's go back to the tool that we had. We got, so where is the, I can't remember. So we had, I think it was $550,000 on average, roughly. For some reason, not let me get back to the calculator with this screen on. All right, so $550,000 for the Fidelity would give me, without being adjusted for inflation, owner male, joint female, income date, qualified IRA, residence of Georgia, yep. $550,000 would give us monthly income for joint and survivor. Payment for survivor. I want the right here. $25.30 a month. All right, so $25.30 a month, guaranteed for 10 years with no income adjustment. Let me write this down. So $25.30 a month is what we get paid. 2530, but that is not inflated. No inflation adjustment. So that joint life and the guaranteed period, 100% paying for income. Okay, good. So that's $25.30 a month, guaranteed for 10 years for both Charlotte and me. Let's hit details, see what we got here. It doesn't really get. Okay, there we go. That means minimum payment of $303,000. So I put in, what did I say, $550,000. I get a minimum of $300,000 out. Okay, that's fine. How do we close this guy out? All right, hold on just a second. There we go. I'll do another video on this calculator. I like this calculator a lot, so I'll do another one. All right, so what if I want a 20-year period certain? Yeah, there we go. 20, and this is what you want. You want joint life with 20-year period certain, which would be 2502 right there. So 2502, always do a 25 joint life with 20-year period certain. Now, the problem, that's not indexed at all. So let's do a cost of living adjustment of 2%. Because remember, Social Security, they have a 2.5%, 2.6% COLA. And here we got joint with life about 1948. So with a cost of living adjustment, 20-year period certain, was a 20-year joint, 20-year period certain is 1947. All right, so how do we close out this guy? So let's close out that guy. All right, so here's the Fidelity thing. All right, we got 1947 for a joint life period served for 20 years on $550,000, which is this guy right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to say 1947 times that by 12. That's $23,364. We're going to divide that by this amount here to get a payout ratio of 4.2%. 4.2%. And the same thing would be here. So if we had 13.24715 times 4.2%, it's 55,000 a year. So we got 55,000 a year on that. Divided by 12 is 46.36 a month. All right, so wait, just make sure I got that right. 13.26 times a payout ratio of 4.2%, 55, divided by 12. 46.36 would be our monthly payment that we get from that much. That seems, why is that significantly higher, man? That I guess that's right. 46.36 times 12 divided by 1324715. Oh, well, the reason for that is because of progressive nature of Social Security. That's right. So if you're making more money, it hurts you to be paying into Social Security. If you're making average money, you're getting, that's absolutely right. So in this case, it makes sense. If you make pretty good money, you're going to be getting Social Security is bad for it. There's no other way around that, because in this case, you would have had 1.3 million accumulated if you didn't have to pay those Social Security taxes, which would have given you about 55,000 a year of an income stream. You divide that by 12, it would have given you roughly 58 a year, a month in income. But because this progressive nature of Social Security, and you can see the progressive nature is the first 926, you get 90% of your AIME. The next $4,657, you only get 32%, and then anything above that, you only get 15%. Means you are getting, I mean, I'm not going to say screwed, but you're leaving a significant amount of money on the table, because you could have got 4,583 as with a 2% cost of living. Instead, you're getting 2,826, and that's the progressive nature of Social Security. This guy right here, we got the average. So the guy with the average wage index, this guy right here with the average wage index, who averaged $48,000 a year over the course of his work career, had equivalent of $550,000 in which to put into Social Security or put into an income annuity, and he's getting from Social Security, he's getting 1826, and the income annuity would have given him 1947. So not a huge difference for the average employee, but it is different. It's about $125, $121 difference per year from Social Security, 100 per month, excuse me. So he's getting on an income annuity from Fidelity, he would have got 1947. All right, 47. But instead, he's getting 1826 from Social Security. Both have cost of living adjustments. One is guaranteed by an insurance company. One is guaranteed by the federal government. So this one would be safer. This one would be more risky, just because insurance companies do not have the taxing authority that the feds do. On this hand, on the other hand, this guy would have had 4583 compared to 2026. So anyone would rather have the 4583, even with a little bit more risk, than 2,826. In this case, you are absolutely getting, you're not making the benefit, the bang for your buck that you could have for sure. I hope that makes sense. Now, lastly, let's just say this guy lives 20 years or so. He'll get 1826 times 240 payments. He's going to get $438,000 back when he put in $550,000. So the answer is, yeah, you're not getting back what you put in. There's no other way around that, because if he lived for 20 years, he's got $438,000 of payment income, where he started with $550,000. And you can't argue that. In this case, it can be even worse. This guy's going to have $2,026 a month. It's be $678,000, where he essentially put in the equivalent of 1.3 million. So, in terms of the effectiveness on Social Security, I think it's without saying you are getting less than you put in. I think that has to be, and it could be significantly less. Now, if you live for 25 years, 25 times 12, that's 300 payments at 1826. It's five. Yeah, there you go. So this guy has to live for 25 years on here just to break even here to get back the money he started with. That'd be $550,800, almost to the penny. So if this guy lives 20 years, he basically will break even, and comparatively speaking to what he and his employer put in, for sure. If this guy lived, there's no way this guy is not ever going to get anywhere near what he put in. Just not going to happen. Now, some would argue, but Josh, you got to look at it like this. You only put in $73,000, which is equivalent to $275,000. I get that, but I mean, you got to factor in the employer does put money into it, and theoretically, that employer contribution could have gone to your 401k. So I get literally Josh himself only put in $275,000. Josh himself only put in $662,000 on those two equations. I get that, but in the real world, the employer's contribution could either go to paying more of my salary or putting it to his retirement plan, or he might not have done it. And if that's the case, I would have negotiated a different salary with other firms. So that's how capitalism works. But either way, the facts are, your employer is putting some money. That means he's without. I'm putting some money in. I'm without. And after you factor in, just a 7% rate of return, I'm not swinging for the fences here. Between the employer and me, I had between $550,000 of contributions to Social Security indexed with a 7% rate of return, or 1.3 million indexed with 7% rate of return. I'm not getting anywhere near back 1.324 million, not at all. And then I got to live 25 years to get anywhere near back 550,000. Now there are some arguments about spousal benefits or survivor benefits, and whatnot. We're not going to talk about that here, but just in terms of pure numbers, will you get back what you put into Social Security? The answer is no. There's just no debate on this. I mean, I guess there could be a debate. Maybe someone, if I'm missing something, love to hear it, but I don't see it, man. But now, at the end of the day, what does that mean? Nothing. Nothing you can do about it. You just got to deal with it. It's the way, the nature of the beast. This is what we're working with. But is the Social Security a good deal? The answer is not. So, all right. Hope you like this. I know it's kind of confusing. It's just kind of by a stream of consciousness. So I was doing this morning. I want to get it out there before the day got ahead of me. So subscribe, smash, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, now.